Hi. I'd like to take a look at a lot of the arpeggios that you can get from out of the alt dominant 7th scale because it makes a lot more sense out of the scale. The scale actually is that half whole symmetrical scale that you can ride on top. So in other words, I'll do G7, right? So on G7, the alto dominant 7th scale would have G, it would have A flat, it would also contain A sharp, or B flat, however you want to look at that. Is it a sharp 9 or a flat 3? You also have the B, okay, so that's our next half step away from that. And then that B will go to D flat or C sharp. Again, once again, we don't know. Is this a sharp 11 or is it a flat 5, right? That was a whole step move from there. So after the D flat or C sharp, you get D natural. And then you get the 13th, E, and then you get F. And then you finally get a whole step from F to G, right? So all total, it looks like I'm sorry. And it's used over those wild dominant 7th chords that have the altered 5ths and 9ths attached to it. So that's why we had a flat 9 and a sharp 9. And we even had the flat 5. Okay? And there are other ways of producing this, because this one didn't use the sharp 5, it used the 13. And the other reasoning for that is there's another alto dominant 7th scale. There's two of them. So there's one that goes through from the G, the A flat, the A sharp, the B, and then once it gets to that B, it goes whole tone scale from there on in. So then it would be D flat, D sharp, F, and G. Right? So that one actually is just a kind of a dominant 7th scale, but it's thrown in the alterations of the 9 and alterations of the 5. But we're going to go back to the other one, the original one, the half whole symmetrical scale. And we're going to pull out arpeggios from it because it's really the best way to use it. Okay, so the first one we can do is right off the root. I can do a G major arpeggio. And you wouldn't think that that would be very exciting, and it's not, you know, but it's there. It's contained in that scale. Now the next one I can do would be the B flat major arpeggio. And what that gives me is I can get the sharp 9 or the B flat, okay? I can get the D, that's the 5, and I can get the flat 7. So again, the only thing that one's really bringing into the picture is the sharp 9, which is cool because so that will fit nicely over any sharp 9 chord. Okay, so that's the whole idea, is to also look at what alterations, what kind of notes are we making up out of these arpeggios, right? The next one, and of course I'm just moving in minor thirds, so my next one will be a D flat. Okay, so I'll use D flat, F, and A flat. Okay, now looking at that, the D flat's the flat 5, F is the flat 7, and then the A flat's the flat 9. Right, so that's a perfect one for this chord. Right? Right, because it's got all the elements of that. Well, actually, no, that had flat 9 flat 5 and flat 9, so that would have been more, right, something like that. I like to actually do the arpeggio and then slip into the G dominant 7 for arpeggio. Right? So you can get some cooler moves out of it that way. And actually I'm going to show you another way that's really slick. And so finally my last one is the E. And I'll get the E, the G sharp, but we can think of the G sharp as really the A flat. So we're getting the flat 9, and we got the third, B. So that's actually fitting, we got a 13 flat 9 chord, okay? Because that's what we ended up. We had the 13th on the E, we had the A flat, flat 9, and we had the third B, okay? So that will fit like this sound here, which this is a really confusing one to do. Matter of fact, you know what I love doing is this one, which is exactly, oh sorry, to the wrong spot. There we go. So if I took the flat 7 and then went 1 fret higher and did, so in other words, I'm on 8th fret on the 5th string, but I'm going to do 9 on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. That's the chord that I could have gotten this way, which to me that's a killer to try and drop into, whereas this is so easy. Right? Alright, so that's basically almost all of them. The other thing that's really slick is I was doing those as major arpeggios, right? You can do all 4 of them as minor arpeggios, and that works too. So in other words, I could be on G7 altered somehow, and I could be doing G, B flat, D, da 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 da. Right? Or I could do the B flat minor. So that's giving me the flat sharp 9. I'm getting the flat 5, and I'm still got my flat 7. So, or the D flat gives me the I get the flat 5, I get the 13, and I get the flat 9. So, and on and on. So E, I get the root, and that's just throwing in the 13. Right? Okay, so that's all of our possibilities. There's all those arpeggios can come out of that scale, which is really crazy. So we got 8 possibilities, which are moving in flat 3s, minor 3rd increments. So G, B flat, D flat, E, and it could be either major or minor on these just basic 1-3-5s. But play that over a dominant 7th, and you got some really cool stuff. Right? So it just fits that altered dominant sound just so nicely. And here's one that I like doing too, is if you just run through them all. Right? Really cool. Doing a little riff like that. Right? Or I might come out. Right? So. So there's a lot of cool little things that can come out of that. And even if I did the minor one, right? Now a variation of that. And that's all I'm doing is just running through those arpeggios. But it really sounds cool when you lay that down over an alto dominant 7th chord. So it's so much better than running the, running the scale. The scale sounds really crazy as it sits. I do use little elements of it from time to time too. But it gets kind of, it's got that really kind of almost freeform jazz fusion type of thing going on. Whereas the arpeggios don't. They have a more sensible. All right. Okay. So I hope that helps you out on alto dominant 7ths and some ways of really getting some interesting things out of them. Thank you.